Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Inside Lowell podcast. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you from the WellPoint Studios here in downtown Lowell. In just a quick minute, we're going to take you inside the old Franco-American School in Lowell, Massachusetts, a historic structure that now is home to the suites in the Ayer Mansion. And my good friend Danielle McFadden is out there. We're going to bring her in along with a special guest to give you a tour and see what you're missing, the amazing work our friends at TMI Properties have done over there. But first, let me thank all of our podcast sponsors who help make this podcast and all of our Inside Lowell podcasts possible, for that matter. And of course, it starts with our friends at WellPoint, as we are sitting here in the WellPoint studios. WellPoint is the only health plan offering healthcare benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. Thank you as well to our friends at the Washington Savings Bank. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. We mentioned TMI Properties, quality and value at every price point. Find your perfect space with TMI. Boston North Company, business solutions for restaurant and retail. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection since 1925. Nearly a century. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell is counted on for over 41 years. And last but certainly not least, our friends at the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Mill City. And with that, let's head out to the Lowell neighborhood. What is that, Danielle? Are we considering this Pawtucketville? Are we considering this the Acre? What do we consider the old Franco-American School and the suites at Ayer Mansion?
Yeah, I want to consider it Pawtucketville because I'm a Pawtucketville resident, but I think it's more Acre. What do you think, Chrissy?
Danielle is joined out there at the Ayer Mansion with Chrissy, Dehney from TMI Properties, and in just a minute or so, they're going to give us a tour of that gorgeous facility. But Danielle, you and I have had the pleasure of going through that building and seeing it. And right now, our audience that's watching this can see the chandeliers in the background, the rich wood making up the doorways and whatnot. There's so much history in that place, and yet so many modern amenities. It really is. You know, we joked about trying to relocate our offices there, about trying to relocate our families there and living there. I'm going to let you kind of take it over from here, though, and talk a little bit with Chrissy about the history of this structure and also how that blends into the future. What could be your future if you're working with TMI?
Yeah, I can't get over the transformation of this building. So I had been in this building several times, a couple of times for a fundraiser in the area we're in right now. And then the owner, Brian McGowan, had taken me through the building when they were just in the renovation stages, and it is absolutely stunning. And one thing I love about this space is that every unit is different. So you're not going to get the same look or feel in two different units. So it's really a remarkable building. I'm here with Chrissy, so the camera's on you now. Do you want to talk a little bit about the history of this building and how it's woven into its current use?
Sure. So this building was built in 1876 by Frederick Ayer as his residence. So he was an entrepreneur and he wanted to build a beautiful home, and it took him several years to do so. And he lived here and entertained, really, with what he did. And he had a lot of things sent from France and Italy, and you can see all the woodwork is original, the doors are original, and we really tried our best to preserve it. But he sold it about 20 years after that to the sisters from Quebec. There was a French community here in Lowell that needed an orphanage, and he sold it to them, and they lived in this mansion for many years and realized they had so many orphans and they had to take care of them and teach them, and so they built the one in the back, and they used this as their residence, and the back building was the school. So, I mean, it was a school for a long time. An orphanage for a long time. We've had a lot of people come by and say they spent short periods of time here when their moms would come home with a new sibling, which is very surprising to me. But I guess that was very common. Women going through postpartum would bring their children here temporarily, and then nuns would take care of them. So, we love this building. We have office space here in this building, and it's our home base. But we were sad when this sold as a school and transformed into apartments, mostly because we knew a lot of families that sent their kids to school here. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't want to see anything happen to it that wasn't going to keep its integrity. So Brian, a dear friend of mine, called me and said, he knew my children came to school here. And I vividly remember walking through the front doors, to bring my kids into school. And even in the back building, they drop off the kindergarten and all of that. And he said, "This school's closing, and what can we do to buy it?" And I hung up on him and said, "I can't talk to you right now." I was heartbroken. Close it. So, but the more I thought about it, I couldn't imagine two people better than Brian and Tracy to purchase the building and renovate it, keeping the integrity of what the citizens had for so many years done to preserve the original part of this building. So I called them and said, "What can I do to help?" And so many years later, here we are, and he did commit to preserving the building, partaking in the grotto transformation and being a part of that. And they really liked what they heard, and they liked him and his wife Chrissy, and they were the lucky buyers.
Incredible.
And so incredible. And I happened to lose my job in Boston during COVID, and he was just at the end of renovating the back part of the building. And I called him, and he said, "I'll hire you tomorrow. You can open the Franco," which was very dear to my heart because I had come here, for so many years. And I was happy to be able to make it a community resident. I think we wanted to property like this.
And you mentioned integrity a couple of times, and that's a word that comes to mind when I think about Brian and Tracy and TMI properties and just all of their different properties.
Yeah. Danielle, I'm going to ask you if you could walk just a little bit closer, stand a little closer to Chrissy so we can pick her up better on the microphone. But while she's doing that, Chrissy, just the easy thing would have been to just come in and do the easy rebuild, right? To keep some of the integrity of the building, some of the history, but to take some shortcuts that would have made your lives a lot easier. But I think it shows the commitment to that history on Brian's part and on your part that you didn't do that. And when we actually get inside some of the units, you'll see that each unit, while it looks completely modern, it's so 21st century, especially with all the amenities, you can see little pieces of that history that were still maintained, little nooks and crannies in the architecture that would have been easy to just cover over, right, and make it a much more affordable project to put together. But I think it speaks to the love of that building that is clearly evident in your voice when you talk about it, and also in Brian's anytime anyone talks to him about it.
Yes, for sure. I mean, Sister Jane, she was in this building, I'd say, over 50 years. And I can clearly remember that once a year seeing them polish the woodwork. So, seeing the woodwork still here and being able to enjoy it every day, I just take my hat off to her all the time because she really cared for the originality of this building. So for us to be able to keep that was important to us too. So even the doors, these are very tall doors, and they didn't have dental problems, but we're an apartment community, right? So you have to add things like that. How do you do that without damaging this beautiful door from the late 1800s? So all of those things took some time to make a plan. There's rods in these doors that actually make them maneuver, I'll show you, properly. But adding, the different locks to them, we didn't want to damage the doors. So
I mean, even look at the detail on hinges.
Wow.
Incredible. And you mentioned the woodwork, but every room seems to have a fireplace.
Every room does have a fireplace in this building. And, you know, Brian and Tracy really wanted to keep each apartment having a fireplace. We tried to get them so we could have an insert in there. But, you know, they were real wood burning fireplaces. So they're too shallow for an insert. So we at least have the look of them. And that's really beautiful. And people are happy to just have that.
Do you want to start walking towards one of the apartments? But while we're doing that, talk a little bit more about TMI, because while you are owners of the Franco, you have a lot of other properties as well.
We have a lot of other properties, and you know, I remember each property that Brian bought along the way of our friendship. Him and I have been friends for 35 years, and he worked construction and saved his money and bought little things at a time, and has really taken a lot of pride in caring for any property he owns, whether it's on Aiken Avenue, in Dracut at the 𝑷𝒓𝒐𝒑𝒊𝒆𝒔 Mill, or here at the Franco, at Merrimack Street with St. James, the Baptist churches. Him and Tracy really both together take a lot of pride in how they care for inside and out. And who we're putting in our buildings, who we can help. Families, single moms, you know, just trying to give back a good, clean place that we take care of. You know, we have an online system that people can communicate. We can track different things, and that's evolution for Brian, who's a paper and pencil kind of guy. And he realized, hey, I'm big enough, and I have to transition into that time, and it makes it easy for the residents. They can pay their rent online, they can communicate with someone on our team, and but they really do care how things are taken care of, make sure no one's forgotten about, and we do our best to take care of the properties as quickly and diligently as we can. So.
All right, so let's take a tour of this beautiful space. Every time I come in one of these apartments, I want to move in, I'll be honest.
This is a one-bedroom apartment. It's listed right now for $2,650. We do have everything is electric in here, so there's no gas. And Tracy, Brian's wife, is our designer. And you can see every little nook and cranny in every apartment. She utilized space, whether it's, you know, a little cubby for storage, a bigger closet, bigger floor space. We have enough room for school. The nice big windows.
Gorgeous.
They put these big windows, and we were able to replace them with big windows still.
That you can open.
That you can open.
That's huge in a building like this. Incredible. All right, so we have the kitchen, obviously, the living area, which I showed you, a beautiful chandelier. Let's keep walking because this is a one-bedroom.
We have a bathroom here that has a nice inlet shower.
When I walked in, I asked Chrissy if it had ever been rented, and she's like, "Oh yeah, several times. It smells brand new in here. It's like such a good, you know, brand new smell." Oh. Look at this.
It's funny, I can remember coming to this part of the building when it was the school, where you could pay tuition.
Oh my God.
In her office over there, and you could come in and see her to pay your tuition bill. So just those little things when I'm in here that I can reminisce about. It's nice.
Washer and dryer in unit. Huge, right next to the bedroom. I feel like I would fold laundry a lot more and put it away if that was the case. Tons of closet space. You have a small party in this closet. What do you think about that, Teddy?
This
closet party?
Sounds good to me. There's plenty of room in there.
All right, so this is the one bedroom, and then we're going to see another unit.
We have another unit. It is a one bedroom. It's a ADA. So we can't have
I mean, everything is just like sparkling clean in this building. All the exposed brick. Beautiful. Another light fixture. You talked about use of the space too. I mean, it's incredible.
This was actually a stairway down to the.
Wow.
She had the vision to even close that off.
Yeah. That's how she's a mom. The more storage and functionality, yeah. And then you can see the shower. You can go right into the shower. No step or anything. And again, the units. And look at that, they're not staffed for somebody who has accessibility issues.
Was it really?
Wow.
Great project, but the application.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Put all your snacks in there.
Yeah.
Danielle's already sizing up the unit. She's ready to move today.
Everybody's like, what's she going to do with the one bedroom? She has 3 kids. Another great closet. And then can't you just picture a bed up against that exposed brick? Beautiful.
Chrissy, if you can hear me still, are there vacancies in the suites in Ayer Mansion? I know that you just opened up the residences at Franco, and those went like hotcakes, right? Are there any vacancies now that besides these 2 one-bedroom units that we're seeing?
No, we don't. We don't have any vacancies in the residences. The mansion, we have these 2 one-bedrooms, and actually we have somebody moving out of a penthouse, and 4 days later, someone new moved back in.
That's incredible. I mean, the penthouses are unbelievable.
Really?
The views of the river, stunning.
And so we've been lucky. This just happened to be why we even have these 2 vacancies. This happens to be life circumstances for the people that live here. So unfortunate, and we love having them, but they had something happen in the life. They had to vacate. So we got them ready for somebody new, and hopefully we can fill it up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We do have, each building, this building and the next door building has, good mail room. We have a locker system that everybody gets packages delivered now. And so we have like a Luxor system.
Oh wow! I have to show the view first. Again, history throughout this building, and then there's the system for mail packages. You can hear a dog, so pets are allowed.
Hey Danielle, do your best to avoid going to the pew and getting into confession. Okay, it must be tempting. I know.
It's not tempting at all. I'm staying far away from there.
Mail room. This is granite. This is all original.
Oh wow!
The granite, the brick. This was the basement. This was the basement.
Does not feel like a basement. A basement with light. Who would have thought? That's beautiful. Do you want to show the community room? Okay. Okay, great. So Teddy, Chrissy can go there. Do you want me to stay here?
Sure.
Okay, great. So you're stuck with me for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's all right by me. You guys were talking about the penthouses, and it's a 4-story building, if I remember right. That's up like up on the 4th floor, but they're gorgeous. The patios out there on them, and as you mentioned, the views. It's not just the Merrimack, but it's the falls out there on the Mammoth Road bridge, and it's just amazing. And you can see the whether it's the sunlight or the sunsets or whatnot. It really is like I was so tempted to talk to the missus and say, if we get the kids, they might not mind being up here, because they have, I think, as much as 3 or 4 bedrooms, right, in some of those units up there.
Yeah, I think one of them that we saw when we took a tour was like 4 bedrooms. And there's also access, I think it's the Northern Canal Walkway, if I recall correctly. I apologize to my folks at the Lowell National Historical Park if I butchered that one, but you can take a walk along the river there. And then there's the grotto outside too, and that area is just absolutely stunning. So there's a lot of green space for this type of building.
Yeah, a ton of it. And you mentioned the grotto, again, history there. That was so important to Brian and to everyone there to restore it. I understand it was part of the deal. Like you're not really going to get this building if you're not going to restore that. And they did it in such an amazing way. They actually relocated it, but the way they did it creates a nice little riverwalk area, but they also have benches out there. So folks who are spiritual or looking for just a couple of moments to themselves, to think and whatnot, or pray. It's all contained in that area there. It's amazing. And people walk around from the public as well, from what I understand.
When we were there, the amount of people that just came to check it out was actually surprising, at least to me. So yeah, that's my thing. I knew my fingers were going to end up somehow in this video, so I apologize to everybody.
So we do allow, and we do have a lot of pets. We have a dog area here.
Oh, excellent.
We do have a limit on size and breed, but we do have pets here.
I was saying that when you were going to grab your keys, that the amount of green space for a building like this, there's a ton of it. You wouldn't necessarily think that by driving by.
No, when you come onto the property and you get out of your vehicle and walk around, it's peaceful.
Yes, it is.
Very peaceful. I remember when we were parents here visiting the school, and Sister Jane had us doing some odds and ends when they were closing up school. And she said, I want to take you guys up to see a view. So there were 5 floors with the basement, right? And the top floor wasn't there. And she brought us out into the roof.
Oh, God.
And ironically enough, I took a picture of how beautiful it looked. And I sent it to Brian before he even considered doing
so crazy how something like that happens.
And he said after that picture, he envisioned putting the penthouses there just for the view.
Wow.
And so he pulled it off.
He did. I mean, in a big way.
Plenty of parking too, as we're seeing right now, ladies.
Yeah, plenty of parking. There's the grotto in the background.
We do have a lot of visitors come daily, and they come and say a prayer, light a candle. They walk through. They stay a few minutes. So all different people find their peace there.
Yeah.
Okay. This was where we had school drop-off. And when you came in the front door, there was one kindergarten class to the right and one to the left.
Aww.
And then when you walked straight ahead, it was a gym, an open gym. And
wow.
So to show you, there's a picture in the mansion of Jackie Kennedy here. With orphans.
Wow.
Gymnasium there. So we've had some visitors along the years. I think it was Willie Nelson.
Really? Wow. Let's look at this entryway.
Damn. So this is all open. This is the classroom, and this is the classroom.
Wow.
And straight ahead was the gym.
You think?
Not too many apartments on each floor. There's 7 apartments on each floor.
Beautiful.
I'll take you down the community room. So whoever lives in the Ayer Mansion, have access to come in here. They can use the community space. There's a fitness room. Just a little something for them to get out of their apartment and utilize the space here.
And there's lots of places.
A lot of people, even that don't live here, come down for the sidewalk and the property and then go back up.
How many units in all, Chrissy, between the suites in the Ayer Mansion and the residences at Franco?
We have 49 in the residences and we have 10 in the mansion. And then we do have a 2-family next door, and actually, one of the families there has been there over 70 years.
Wow. This is beautiful.
And that's the community room, right? The common areas?
This is the community room. Now, this kitchen space is space that you can rent, but this area here is open to the residents. They don't have to reserve it. And it's like a little cubby for people to come in and live for.
Would you consider making some of that commercial space? I know the residences might not want to hear that, but it looks like a great place. I could picture Chamber and Inside Lowell offices there someday with those views, Chrissy.
Well, I mean, you talk to the boss. I think anything could be possible.
He's an idea man, that's for sure.
I think it's hard to take away anything that you from the start, so we may have a fight on that. But, you know, the fitness room is just a little bit
It's
of
great.
everything.
Yeah.
But people didn't use it.
What is that room? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
Probably gym setting.
Oh, a gym. That's what it looks like?
You like lift weights, do some cardio. Cardio is like something to get your heart racing, like an elliptical or a treadmill.
Wow, a gym and a church pew. Now I can cross 2 more things off my bucket list.
And this used to be the grotto, the stations of the cross were along this way. And, you know, I remember feeling so concerned when Brian was telling me they were going to move it like a park. No, you can't move it. It's there. You know, the stations have always been there. We'd come in to drop the kids off and drive by the stations, and then this would be the cave. And he said, "You're going to see it." And that was, you couldn't see the canal.
It's stunning.
Years ago, you couldn't see the canal there. So having even that vision to make a park where the stations are now lined up and you can walk along the canal, it's really much more peaceful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and that's what, when you had stepped out for a minute there, Chrissy, that's kind of what Danielle and I were talking about, is how that whole area is opened up now, and it's just like perfect walkway and, again, outdoor area. It's such a serene area, but you're like right in the heart of a city at the same time, which is very tough to pull off sometimes.
That's true. We did incorporate a parking policy just to kind of give our residences their space, because, you know, there are a lot of people that come in and out of this area just for the grotto. And so even with that, it still gives them a peaceful feel of, wow, this is part of my home. Even if you're not religious, there's just something nice about walking along the sidewalk, beautiful flowers, you can hear the birds. It's nice. We even
Very nice.
To the canal one time.
No way. Oh my gosh.
And there is a committee that takes care of the grotto, so they do the upkeep of the station.
Beautiful. Is there anything that we have missed in terms of our conversation?
For me?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that if you're looking for a well-rounded community where you can be in the city, have access to things in the city, but not be right in the middle of all of that, I think it's a nice, serene place to call home. I do.
Yeah, Chrissy, Danielle and I talk an awful lot about, you know, finding your perfect space with TMI. I've seen many of your other properties, and we'll focus on those two at some point. But within the TMI properties available, this is probably the perfect space, to be honest with you.
The perfect space. I really love that I can come here every day and, you know, have my office space here, and it's peaceful. It is peaceful. There are a lot of things that you can really take advantage of if you want those things where you live. You know, we have outside sitting space, you know, the walking areas.
Look at this. I have to show this area. I mean, you even have, look at this. The running water.
Not a bad place to take wedding photos if somebody's looking for a unique spot inside the city, right?
I said that last week we had somebody here taking pictures.
Or even senior pictures.
They were doing,
Wow, yeah.
Hi.
I think your next headshot should be here, Teddy. All right?
Do you have any questions for me?
I think we covered a lot. I'm so glad that we were able to take a kind of tour of not only a couple of the units, but the entrance and the community room. What about you, Teddy?
No, I have one question for you, Chrissy, and that's for anybody watching this podcast. If somebody wants to make this their home, how do they get in touch with you guys over there at TMI?
So they can go right onto our TMIRentals.com website. There's a contact card there. Has a list of all the stuff available, price ranges, what locations they are. And once you fill out that contact card, we have someone from our leasing office get in touch with you, make an appointment, and do tours.
Simple enough. Thanks so much, Chrissy. Really appreciate you taking the time to give us a guided tour. I think a lot of folks who remember that place and have, you know, that it holds a special place in their heart, I think they're going to enjoy just the walking tour, if nothing else.
Oh, I think so. I know I have reached out to the sisters maybe about a month ago or so, and I'm trying to get them over to the
great.
tour. They have toured the residences, and it was really nice to go through with them because they said, oh, this was this classroom and this was this classroom. Like, for them to see the mansion would be really nice because they lived inside that building for them.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chrissy Dehney from
You're welcome, Teddy.
And say hello to Brian for me as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
I will.
Bergie, you're not too bad for a tour guide there. You and
All right, thank you.
Job there, Bergie. So.
Chrissy made it easy. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, we were both terrible in history, so we would have never remembered the history of the building. But I want to thank you as well for heading on out there, and great job with your phone. You got if the presidency of the chamber doesn't work out for you, you got a future as a camera person. Okay. All right. I think we I want
to thank TMI Property because they're also a platinum of the chamber.
Oh, yes.
So thank you to them.
You had frozen up for a minute, so give them one more quick shout out if you would.
Yes, I just said I want to thank TMI Property because they're also a platinum partner of the chamber. So they're very supportive of the work that we're doing. So we appreciate that.
All right. Thanks, Danielle and Chrissy. We appreciate you taking the time, and thank all of you for joining us here on this latest Inside Lowell podcast. Now you know a little something about what we mean when we say find your perfect space at TMI, and there's quality and value at every price point. Maybe those units aren't for you, but they've got a bunch of others. You heard them talk a little bit about the mills out there in Drake, or maybe out on Merrimack Street in Lowell, or they've got a place on the corner of School and Broadway. They've got quality and value at every price point, as we like to say, but man, the quality at the Ayer Mansion, it can't be beat. Thank you to Chrissy. Thank you to Danielle. And thanks to all of you for joining us. Till next time, stay safe, everybody.